So a few people wanted to see a list of all the mods that I use based on the videos that I've posted in the past, so I figured I would go over all of them. The thing about mods is that they have a tendency to be tricky, meaning that if you use them with certain combinations of other mods, they just won't work, will crash your game or turn them invisible. With this combination, you will not have this problem. At least, I don't. So I'll just go over all of them. If you want your game to look like mine, you can find all of these on Nexus. The names will pretty much be as they are in this list, if you were to look for them on Nexus. So Vader, Medieval Vader, is a very solid mod, has a lot of conflicts. Again, if you use this in combination with the rest of these, you will not have a problem with invisible characters or crashing. I use this with the Force Unleashed Darth Vader audio. It overhauls all of his audio to sound like he did in the Force Unleashed with that particular voice actor. I think it's a very good mod, but you know, this is interchangeable. They can be used separately if you're not a fan of the Force Unleashed audio. Starkiller over Luke. This basically makes his appearance change to be that of the concept art. I use this with an all default skin Luke Skywalker mod, which basically makes all of his appearances appear like this. So if somebody uses a different skin, you'll see it on every single one. There are multiple variations on Nexus. You can get this one, which is a purple and orange one. But you can get another one that's a little bit more simplistic. I use a particular audio overhaul that makes all of his voice lines those of Mark Hamill's. You can, again, look this up on Nexus and find all of that. The lightsaber add-on goes hand in hand with the mod when you find that. Arcan over Anakin Skywalker, probably like one of the best looking mods in the game, arguably. He really took his time making this one. It just looks pretty good overall. There's an audio overhaul that you can use. It's separate. There are multiple variations you can find again on Nexus. HK47. This goes over Bosk. Overhauls all of his star cards, his audio. It will change the filter on his scope. It's a very good mod. Rey, Qui-Gon Jinn. Yeah, so yeah, it's a Rey replacer. Has multiple skin variations. One that lets you look like a younger Qui-Gon. Yeah, one with like a a saber wound. Let's see if I can. There you can see it.
There's always a bigger fish.
That's an interesting mod, for sure. You can get an audio overhaul mod on Nexus. Let's see where it is on my list. Yeah. It takes a lot of voice lines from actually various different movies that Liam Neeson did, not just Qui-Gon. But yeah, that's an interesting mod. Let's see. Alright. Scorpio over Phasma. The reason I use no text is because there was a tendency in the past for text edit mods to just crash your game for no reason. So, generally safer if you can find a version of all these mods that have a no text version, just to avoid any potential crashes or performance issues. Yeah, this is a very good mod. Solid voice lines. Let's see if I can get one of the emotes.
Do not think victory won't be mine.
So you just don't have to hear Phasma anymore. After about 3,000 hours, you kind of get tired of hearing the same voice lines over and over again. Yoda duel Palpatine, yeah. Oh, so this changes his Sith Eternal appearance to be like his Revenge of the Sith appearance when he was dueling Yoda. I use Supreme Chancellor Palpatine audio just because it's a nice change of pace, so all of his voice lines sound very polite.
Good, good. I am.
I will not let this republic that is
Let's see. Piano's Mandalorian. There are multiple Mandalorian mods. I think this is the best one. Changes all of his appearances. Gives you a lot of variety. One without a cape, one with a jetpack very clearly visible, one without it. That kind of thing. Yeah, it's a very, very, very good mod. Mandalorian audio overhaul. Yeah, again, separate. Look it up on Nexus. You can find multiple ones. Ones with fewer voice lines, one with more. You know, it's really at your discretion. Claymaver's Plo Koon. Over Obi-Wan, yeah, again. There's a cinematic version and a gameplay version that basically, you know, gives the option of having either better resolution or lower resolution with better performance ratings. Yellow Saber add-on is included with that. Darth Revan. Yeah, this is from Degio Nox. It's maybe the only one that even works. There are so many on Nexus, but the one by Degio Nox is by far the best one in the game. There's an audio overhaul that is included somewhere here. I forgot where I put it. Should be somewhere here. Or maybe I forgot to put it on. But yeah, you can find that on Nexus. I guess I just don't have it on particularly right now. Yeah, all these are included in that mod pack. Gives you the option of adding multiple sabers to them or not. Darth Nihilus. You cannot find this one on Nexus. Let's see. This is a Patreon mod from Degio Nox. It replaces all of his appearances with one Darth Nihilus appearance. Turns all his voice lines into his. Will sound like gibberish, but it's a very good mod. Lightsaber handle is a custom texture that Degio made, so it is unique for sure. There are multiple replacers that you can find on Nexus for Dooku. One of the better ones is the Grand Inquisitor, if you ever look that up. Yeah, it's a very good mod. Again, the only way to get this is to go to Degio Nox's Patreon and get the mods from his Discord. From his Patreon, I mean, sorry. Dengar, yeah, this replaces Iden. It's a solid mod. I hate hearing Iden's voice lines, seeing the model in general. So this is a very, very nice change of pace. Dirge, this replaces Boba. Let's see. Yeah, it's a very good mod. Replaces all his audio with Chad voice lines.
I am Gendai. You've already learned.
Yeah, very good mod. The mod on Nexus gives you the option of replacing Bosk if you so wish. That's very good. Embo to Chewie. This is a great mod, in my opinion. Some people don't like the fact that it's not very high resolution with, you know, impressive textures and whatnot. If you don't really like the simplistic look of it, you can certainly download other Chewbacca mods. One of the better ones is maybe it's somebody from the Bad Batch. You can find lots of Chewie mods on Nexus for sure. This just happens to be one of the better ones. Overhauls everything from the weapon audio to the voice lines, textures, everything. Jedi Grievous. It's like the best Grievous mod in the game. Very high quality. It's the only one that's actually a good replacer. Default replaces text, which, you know, is okay. I mean, it doesn't really crash my game. It's stable. Replaces all of his appearance with this. Audio. It's all very good, including the icons and star cards. Jin over Lando. Yeah, it's an all-inclusive mod. You don't need to download any separate audio overhauls for it. Plays all Lando's appearances with Jin, various different outfits. Yeah, it's pretty good. Salver. Okay, this is over Mall. You cannot find this on Nexus either. It used to be. It's unique to people that managed to get downloaded before it was taken off. It comes with custom meshes, textures, all that. Plays all this audio with Starkiller. Yeah, it's a very good mod. Crimson Dawn Mall would be my recommendation. If you want to replace Mall with something else on Nexus, that's a very good one. Just makes his appearance a little bit better. You can get various audio mods over that. Zori Bliss. This is that character from Rise of Skywalker. The only reason I have it on is just because it's a surprisingly well done mod. Comes with custom audio.
First Order took most of the kids along.
Yeah, it plays all of her star cards too. Yeah, it's a solid mod. Replace this ELG3AA sound. Just look up the first 3 letters and type it in when your search query returns. Just kind of like scroll down and click it. If you try to type in the full thing, Nexus has a weird thing with hyphens where it won't let you search that. So just type in those first 3 letters and you'll manage to find it. This is from a weapon SFX overhaul. So just look up exactly what this is. Weapon sound effects overhaul, just the exact letters, and you'll find it. It's a big mod. It'll give you a lot of options. You can scroll down and find this exact one if you want. There are a lot of E11 like sound replacer mods, so you don't have to get that one in particular. Supreme Yoda. This you cannot find on Nexus, but there are a lot of Yoda mods that you can find. This orange lightsaber, for instance, is on Nexus, so you can get rid of that. His default green saber, you can get rid of that. Yoda audio, Frank Oz, yeah, this is also on Nexus. Just the skin itself, you cannot find on Nexus. It's just not available there. Where was I? Okay. Oh yeah, A180. Okay. This is for Han's main weapon. If you just look up A180, you'll find this mod. It's pretty sure it's on Nexus, and it just overhauls the sound of the blaster. And that's it. Crosshair over Finn. This is a brand new one. There are actually a lot of Crosshair over Finn models. I just like this one in particular because it has an emissive attribute to it. Makes it look a little bit cleaner. Crosshair audio overhaul, you can find that over Finn. I already went over that one. This is in the same mod pack with this right here, the E11 Weapon SFX overhaul. It just makes it sound a little bit nicer. Dirge goes with that, so you don't have to use the default mute mod that will come with this once you download it. Luke Skywalker, yeah, I went over that. Mario Finn buff, okay, that's a weird mod. The reason I have this on is just because I like to hear when Finn buff goes off when I'm on light side. It's kind of just like a little thing where every time Finn pops his mid ability, you'll hear a Mario buff sound effect. When he turns it off, you'll hear, a sound effect to indicate that. Yeah, you can find it on Nexus. Let's see. Boss, Bigger Minds. Okay, so all of this is just quality of life right here. There's nothing really visually enhancing about it. Maybe a few of them. But Boss, Bigger Minds, this just makes boss minds look bigger. Like it makes them look like 10 times bigger than they actually are. You can't find that on Nexus, and there's nothing quite like it available there. Remove code 721. Okay, so this mod, every time you log in, it will indicate an error right here, almost without fail, unless you just get really fortunate. But you know how you have to spam connect every time you try to, get online. Well, this mod removes that. Basically, just lets you connect automatically. It might take a little bit, but it removes that tedious error message that pops up every time you try to connect. Apollo's 3 Theed front end. So yeah, this one basically just removes the default vanilla, black background every time you log in. So instead you see Naboo Theed. It's a pretty solid mod. Multiplayer. Okay, I think this mod is just something that I think it was part of some kind of Bosk mod. Honestly, I'm blanking right now. What it does is removes a green filter every time you're scoped in. It's not really necessary when you have this mod on, but if you didn't have it, this is a pretty solid mod to just ignore that. It'll just let you scope in without that green filter on scope. Chat continuity. It just lets you see messages from screen to screen every time a new lobby happens or starts. You'll see the chat messages from the previous rounds. Damage reduction percentages. So this is a UI mod where you will see damage reduction numbers on the health bar at the bottom of your screen, and also whenever you look at an enemy, just make sure it lets you know how much damage reduction a person in front of you has. So every time somebody pops Fin buff, you'll see they have 25% DR on their little shield next to the health icon. Same thing with Vader, Grievous, where you'll see those damage reduction numbers. Just having both of them on lets you see that. Eclipse end of round. Just at the end of every screen, replaces the default black screen with just like an Eclipse picture. I think it's made by Zvixity or something like that on Nexus. Yeah, you can find that there. Enhanced scoreboard lets you see KD ratios, assists, all of that information during the game. Game mode info. So every time you find a match, it will show what the other team is picking and what people are picking, what characters. It doesn't really work in GA. It's really for HVV. Join game widget. Oh yeah. So it will show multiple maps. So for like Tatooine, there are 2 Tatooine maps. When you connect to a game and it says, you're traveling to this particular planet, it will show the full name so you know which Tatooine, which lobby you're joining. New UI colors. So as you can see, every time I highlight something with my cursor, it turns purple. More or less just does that. So for everything on your screen, level numbers, little indicators right here, that kind of thing. Ignition sounds. This is a mod pack. It just changes the ignition sound for every lightsaber in the game, so you hear something a little bit different every time. Auto voice mute. This mod, every time you make a party with somebody or invite somebody, you'll notice by default that sometimes you can hear echoing in the background. This just changes that, removes it from the game entirely. Better sensitivity. Do not use this if you are a controller player. This is only if you have mouse and keyboard. What it does is it changes your mouse acceleration to make it a little bit easier for aiming when you're scoped in, just by reducing how much your mouse accelerates when you do so. Better bowcaster control. This is something that just changes how your bowcaster is zoomed in, sometimes the crosshair, I think. Yeah, I think it's more about the crosshair. So you typically have like a triangle spread whenever you scope in with Chewie's bowcaster. Instead, it will just be a simple dot. No auto zoom. So for Leia and Chewie, it will ensure that whenever you pop their middle abilities, it doesn't automatically zoom you in, so you can just kind of get that scope damage without really having to, have the visual effect of zooming in. Better Dioxis. This is a mod that just removes unnecessary screen effects. So when a boss throws his Dioxis in your face, you can kind of see through it a little bit more clearly. That's all it does. No spark flash. Every time a lightsaber is deflected off, every time a blaster bolt is deflected off a lightsaber, it will basically remove that flash from your effects. I think this is part of a big mod pack with a bunch of different explosion effects and that sort of thing. It's just less like visual clutter on your screen. Better hit markers. What does that do? Oh, right. All it does is every time there's a hit indication in the game, it removes the default indicator for it and just kind of makes it kind of like a cross, basically. If you put this over better crosshairs, it'll work. Better crosshairs minimal basically turns every crosshair into a dot. Better blaster bolts just make them appear a little bit bigger, more visually appealing. It's atmospheric gliding, changes the look of every single map in the game. Just changes the lighting of everything. Battlefront 2 2015 font makes the UI look like this and not the default text. Just changes the font for everything, basically. This Clone Wars Heroes vs. Villains announcer, you don't have to hear the annoying HV robot every time a lobby starts or every time it announces like a kill streak. You just hear the Clone Wars announcer. Centered camera. Instead of having the camera over your shoulder where you can alternate between the two, center camera just focuses everything on the center. So like it'll be like right on their back, but you won't have a camera over this shoulder or that one, just centered. Classic menu effects just changes this audio cues for selecting certain things in the menu to just be like the classic Battlefront 2 2005 sound effects. The Fried FX clean HUD basically minimizes the UI, so for all of these ability indicators it will put them in a nice clean box at the very bottom of your screen. It will minimize the health bar, your map indicators on the screen. It just makes it a little bit easier in game. Rogue might fix multiplayer. Okay, I use both these mods just because. So there's a glitch in game where every time you hold Anakin's middle ability while spamming an ability, it will put you in a glitch. This basically makes it so it happens a lot less frequently and make sure that you get the damage reduction that you should be from using the ability and holding it down. This doesn't stick you in the animation. No holograms remastered. Basically, when you're selecting a character in a match, it will just remove the default black background every time you select that character. Instead, you see the map like this, sort of, every time you're in the map. Yeah, that's more or less it. Yeah, those are all the mods. For any of the ones that you can't find on Nexus, like Salver or Nihilus, or this one, just look up Yoda or Darth Maul, whatever, by character, or you can search by types like models and textures, or skins and abilities. You can kind of browse the vast catalog of models that it offers on the Nexus website. Yeah, that's about it.